Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is a live trade room. Each morning we come together in this pre-market session, call it the Morning Leap, to put together our trade plan for the day, take a look at the market, macro to micro, the structure of the market, and then drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. If you want more information about this room, we do live trading during the course of the day and live analysis all day. You can give me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com or contact me through Skype, Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario. There are more videos on the YouTube channel. If you want, do a search for Quantum Leap Futures, and also you can save me as a contact on Twitter at Crazy2. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties this morning, and it's making it a little bit confusing. This is the disclaimer, so let me do that. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. Only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions made. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades you see and hear are for education purposes only. Please trade your own plan, your own due diligence. Okay, so let's just go back to the monthly. You can see that we have a simple candlestick chart with a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. This is my paper money account, but it's live data, so I can use it for charting. You can see that I'm looking for slope and separation and where the trends are being challenged. And you can see on the monthly, we broke back below the 9 and the 20 last month, and currently we continue to trade below the 9 and the 20 in this lower wick of last month. Going to the weekly, we have a good slope and separation to the downside. We created a technical gap, rotated back up, closed the gap, rejected the 9 EMA, and continuing on the trend down. And so the trend on the weekly is down. Same thing on the daily. The daily, we had good slope and separation, consolidation, and now we're getting continuation. And we're starting to get slope and separation to the downside. So the trend on the daily is down. On the 4-hour, pretty much the same thing as the daily. We had strong trend down, consolidation, and now we're getting continuation, possible continuation of this downward trend. Going to the 30-minute, you can see that that slope and separation is getting wider. We are challenging the 9 EMA from below right now. We have a naked cross up here on the 30-minute at 1916. Write that down. These naked crosses are generally retested at some point in time and closed out. They're like naked VPOCs, etc. Going on the 15-minute, we've got another naked cross right here, 1920 and a quarter. And you can see we're coming up, we've broken above the 9 and we're challenging the 20. So they are trying to hold and break this downward trend. We do have some naked crosses above us. Going to the 5-minute, strong trend down. Now we're in consolidation, and now we have a possible upward trend. I'd be watching this 1908.75 area as a possible failure point on the 5-minute. But right now, the longer time frames are down, and as we drill down to the shorter time frames, those are starting to be challenged, and we're trying to consolidate and change the direction of this trend. Let's take a look at the overall structure of the market. This is my composite. We've been following this micro composite from the significant breakout candle from the 21st, and basically we've been trading and chopping around in this value area between 1970 and a quarter and 190150 now is the value area low. So I'll be watching this level very closely, but the real level and the key line in the sand for me today is going to be this 19 I'm sorry, 1899.50. I'm sorry, it's 98.75. I have a hard time seeing on this particular screen. This is not my regular computer, but we're having issues with our IRT this morning. Below the 1898.75, then I think we're going to dip down further down into the 1800s, and my first big target below is 1894.50. The 20-day ATR target right now is running at 38.58. And our overnight high is 1929.75. So I'm looking at possibility of the ATR 20-day downside target being 1891, which is just below this 94. I'm going to be running 94.50 as my main target, but the 20-day ATR target is 91 and a quarter. And you can see we've got a fractal low down here at 89.50. So hard to see on the screen, so just bear with me. Currently, right now, we're trading that 1910 level. The last time we came down here, we found value and buyers down at the 1912. So if we get above the 1150, I'm looking for a rotation into 12, but more importantly, probably up into this 1350, and then a move up to test the 1850 CLVN. The 4-day, actually, yeah, the 4-day, is it the 4-day? I did put all 4 days. Yes, the 4-day value area low is down here at 1919 and a quarter. And then the micro composite VPOC and the main target above us today is going to be this 1923 and a quarter. That's the most traded price going all the way back to 08/21, the breakdown from the value that we were above. We've got a lot of undetermined fair value in this area between 03 and a quarter and that 23. We could be chopping around here, but I'll be watching this 1901.50. Our overnight low is 1902 and a quarter. So if they come down and take out the overnight low, I would imagine that they're going to come down and break it, and they're going to come down and test into the 1800s. Our swing low here from last week is 1897 and a quarter, and I think that if we don't get back above and hold this 18 level sometime this morning, that they're going to work their way down and dip down into the 1800s. And I think this fractal low here at the 1897 and a quarter is not going to hold, and that's where I'm making a prediction that will probably come down and test this 94, if not 91. The big key line below us right now is going to be down here at 77 and a quarter. Remember that 1987 was our key line in the sand when we broke back out of the balance that we were in, down in around this 1818 level. I don't have all my composite and microcomposites drawn on this version of IRT, so I can't show you where the value is, but the value area high on this is at 1832 and a quarter, I think is where it's at, and then the VPOC is centered around this 1818 area. And I think that this lower volume area, between that 1877 and a quarter all the way down to this 39 has to be repaired. And we're likely to come down here and spend some time in the 1800s if we cannot hold in that value area and into the 1900s. So let's take a look at what happened overnight and start moving our levels over. Our overnight high, of course, was 1929.75. Our overnight low was 02 and a quarter, just below this naked VPOC. Our Globex VPOC is at 0750. And we really have an LVN in around here about 14, but the one I'm watching is getting up into this area at the CLVN at that 18. Other than that, there's not a lot of information to be had from this. So let's take a look at yesterday. So we've just rallied a bit into the prior day range. Let me bring this down here. You can see that we have this CLVN at 1150, but really I think you got to use the 10 and a quarter to that 1150. So I'm going to use this as a trade area. Not going to get long until I'm above 1150. Not going to get short until I'm below 10 and a quarter. Below 10 and a quarter, I'm looking for them to come down and take out the overnight VPOC at 1907.50 with continuation down to take out the 0239. And there's really not much, there's not much. Did I say 0239? Sorry, 02 and a quarter. This needs to be adjusted, and I haven't done it on here yet. In terms of how it's scaled, the 1150, you do have 03 and a quarter, so you can certainly use that. And then below that, there's really nothing until we get down into that 0150. But I'm really going to use the 98 and a quarter. I'm sorry, it's 98.75, I believe. Yeah, 98.75. And then below that, of course, I've got the 94.50 target. And then the ATR, 20-day ATR at 91 and a quarter. And then below that, you really get into a thin area of the profile. Let me just tighten this up. I would be using 89.50, which is that swing low. And if we get below that, then I'd be looking for the next CHVN here at 85.50. Okay. 85.50, then 84.50 as some possible support just below it. And then below there, you've got that 77.75, and that's going to be the key line in the sand for us below. Sorry, 77 and a quarter. All right, and then below that you've got the 75.50, or actually 75 even as your target below there. And then there's really nothing until we get down to this 64. You get 65 and a quarter. Well, there's this 67 and a quarter. Then I'd target this 64.50 with you get 65 and a quarter just ahead of it. But I'd be using the naked close. And then below that, there's really not much until we get down to 56.75. And why am I spending so much time talking about this down here? I don't know if today could turn out to be a trend day and we could flush down. So we want to know where our targets are a good distance below us. Okay, so that takes care of the downside. I don't know what's going on with my delta. I'm just having a terrible technology day today. Above the 1911 area, 1150 area, you've got the 12, which is where we found the buyers last time we were down here. But like I said, I'm going to be using this 1350 as my target. It's the HVN from the lower distribution. It's also a CHVN, and then above it is that 14. It's really not okay. So it's not until you actually get to 17. Well, I am going to use this 1475 LVN, and then 1750, and then a target of the naked close at 19. Come on. And then really, once we're up into this distribution up here, there's that CLVN. It's not a major one at 2025. So I'm going to be looking at this 22 value area low and really targeting the 23. And it doesn't show up very much, on the profile because we've got this zipper area, this thin area between the upper and the lower distribution that starts just above the 23. And I'm really looking at there's a LVN that starts from right about here, 25, which coincides with the CLVN and this range low. So this whole area between 25 and the overnight high is very thin, and I think that we'll move through it fairly quickly and we'll take out the overnight high. So I'm going to use the 25 as my next trade area, and if we get above that, I'm looking for a move up into the 29 VWAP and the overnight high at 29.75. And there's that CLVN here at 29.50 as well. And then above the IB low, then I think we get continuation with the bigger move up into this 34. It's 33.70. Well, there's 31.75, and then there's 34.75. I'm going to use the 34.75 or 34.75, and then you've got the naked VPOC, which we left above up here at 38, with the next key level being this 1940 area again. This is that 4050 CLVN. It's the IB high from yesterday. And above that, we've got the value area high and the range high up in the 42 to 4250 range. And above that, then I'd be looking for a bigger move up back into the 43 area, but more importantly, this retest of the 1948, I'm sorry, 1948, 75, 49 area that we are using as our key line in the sand for price discovery lower. And then, above that, back up in the 52 and 53 area. And again, I don't think we're going to get up there. I really think that my main hypothesis is to chop around in this area down here between 1350 and 1901. But if we break below the 0150, I'm expecting them come down much lower into the 94, 91 area. Those are I think it's going to be a rotational day with some large rotations, but I think that it's going to be a downside bias if they don't get back above 14. Above 14, then everything changes to a slow walk up to take out the overnight high, especially if they leave this overnight low alone and get back inside of value. But there's a lot of repair that needs to be done down here. So I'm really looking for some lower price action today, especially being the first of the week. That's going to complete it. I'm not going to bother trying to do gold right now. I got to see if I can get this problem fixed. So that's our end of our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.